Positive energy all the time. Good to see everybody. Hope y'all are doing great. Let's get it. Rep your city, rep your city. Rep your city. We got New Jersey in the building. We got Brinkston in the house. We got Richmond, California. I represent Chicago. Shout out to everybody on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and my other Facebook account. We got San Jose in the building. Rep your city, rep your city, rep your city. I hope everybody's staying warm if you're in the area where the chill is coming through. New Jersey in the building. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I'm going to talk about hip hop. I get real irritated with people criticizing the young rappers. That is one of the phoniest things ever. It's just so phony. I don't know when we're going to stop trolling, trying to sound positive, saying make-believe stuff for views or to try to build some type of phony ambiance or something like that. It's playing out. You know, these brothers out here complaining about the music. It's just so ridiculous. Nobody has no answers. Y'all never notice that? Nobody has any way to change the music. Am I the only one notice that? Man, we got this music, man, they doing, man, this music ain't no good, man. They gotta change the music. You say you believe many of them are backpack rappers. There's not no backpack rappers. There's no backpack rappers. If you think about backpack rappers and you look at the brothers now that's not doing like the drill type rap, they not doing backpack rap. They doing like I don't know what you call it. You have certain brothers that are kicking bars. I post a lot of that on the Hip Hop Rap Show. Go over on Instagram and follow Hip Hop Rap Show. Though I'm not talking about them. They come, they still spitting bars. They still keeping it authentic with the bars and the way the beats are constructed. If you notice, you don't see them complaining. You don't see them complaining. I don't know if you noticed that, but when you go see the brothers that got bars, that really a wordsmith, you don't never hear them complain. All they do is go to the producers that make the authentic type beats they like, and they just rap. Y'all ain't noticed that? because artists like Nas and people like that, they're not marketable anymore. They're not marketable. I think they should keep I think they should keep doing what they're doing, but they're not marketable. Not really. I haven't heard any rap music in today's time that's marketable except drill that I've heard. I think a lot of the people, they live in a fishbowl, and it's kind of like a R. Kelly song. I wish, I wish, I wish. They kind of wish for something, but don't have any method to make that happen. Yeah, Nas is washed up. He can still rap. People are going to still respect him as a rapper, but he's washed. Or somebody like Nas has no chance without CDs. If you had CDs, Nas could do something. You understand? He said drill. He said none of the youngest can out rap Nas. Doesn't matter. He's not marketable. Nas never blew up from rapping good. Nas blew up from making good songs. And rapping good is not necessarily a good song. The music business is a business of song. Nas blew up from making good songs. The songs he made with the kids, songs like that. This is why artists like him and Carol Russ got mad when Nelly came out and made better songs because they felt like they could rap better. But they song, it's the music business. So I do understand I'm not talking to nobody in the business. So I'm dealing with people dealing with like emotions, ideology. It's the music business. You have to make a good song. That's why it got to the point where Blackstreet and Jodeci and all them was the hottest acts because they were making good songs. Tupac realized that. So that's why he got the song with Jodeci. How do you want it? How do you feel? He had to make a good song. He could rap all he wanted, but you got to make a good song. Rakim could really rap, but he couldn't make a good song if his life depended on it without Eric B. So that's really not what I'm going to talk about. I'm trying to talk about something else because there are a lot of people complaining about the young rappers, the drill rappers, and the sexy red and the sexy red rappers. There's a lot of people complaining about that. And to me, they don't want to put the blame on who it goes to. There is a reason why drill blew up and the sexy music blew up and that you have the rap you have today. And you have the rap you have today because of the rappers in the past. The rappers that people think in the past was great rappers, they are responsible for the rap today. Yep. Something nobody want to admit. Including Nas. Nas is one of the main people that heard rap. I told him to his face. Show me a football player that say football is dead. Show me a baseball player that say baseball is dead. Show me any other music genre where they say their genre is dead. Rap, my Nas goofy ass come out talking hip hop is dead. Cursed his own, and he was lying. And he was lying. And y'all, a lot of people let him get away. They let him get away with it. It was total disrespect to the next generation. He disrespected the next generation. Totally. I told him to his face. That's why, to me, Nas will never be a great in rap. He would sit down next to J. Cole, who punked out. Yeah, Nas said hip hop is dead. At a time when Jeezy had some great songs that was popping. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me Jeezy wasn't really hot and really making some good music when Nas disrespected Jeezy, disrespected the South that was starting to make the good music, and he was mad because New York had fell off. So he started saying hip hop is dead because New York fell off. And look how long Atlanta carried hip hop with good music. How's hip hop dead? You mean like Get Rich or Die Trying? Is that what you mean? So Get Rich or Die Trying, that's a part of hip hop being dead? But we get back to that later. I'm gonna talk about the youth today. I was just on the phone talking to a friend. I was trying to explain them that you can't blame young people for their music if you did not pass anything down to them. You see, the young rappers out there today, nobody passed nothing down to them. They saying they don't like the material that the young rappers is rapping about. That's very confusing. Because what I want to ask y'all is this. Put it in the chat. What are the young brothers and sisters? What do y'all think they should be rapping about? Put it in the chat. The young ladies that's doing the sexy rap, the drill rappers, put in the chat. If you don't like what they rapping, Tell me, what is the young generation supposed to be rapping about? I can't wait to hear. I can't wait to hear what y'all suggestions. What should they be rapping about? And where should they be pulling up that vibe to rap like that? Where should they pull up the vibe to rap different than how they rapping? Where they to rap different? Because people saying they need to stop rapping drill. So I want to know, what are they? What are they supposed to pull up? Pull up what? Pull up what? Pull up what? I'm not seeing anything. I'm not a fan of nothing. I'm not a fan. I got toxic masculinity, but Coast Contra, not really. Mm-mm. I wouldn't listen to that type. Rap. I think they could rap. I wouldn't listen to that. They ain't saying nothing. I can't relate to what are they? What they represent? What, Busta Rhymes 3.0 or something? I can't relate to that. I can't relate. What are they rapping? Mm-mm. That's rap for a white audience. That ain't for black. That ain't for black people living in the city. That's for a white audience. That's not for black people. That's marketed for whites. I'm trying to wait to see. Now I don't listen to Divine. I don't listen to no weirdo. I don't. Do I look like a weirdo? I don't listen to weirdo stuff. Because the music that you hearing today, the older musicians did this. They caused this. They blaming the youth for something that the older generation caused. The older generations of musicians didn't pass anything down to the youth, but they want the youth to have something that was never passed down to them. They didn't pass them nothing. In terms of music, lifestyle, or nothing. If you go all the way back, you could see it was going to go here. Marvin Gaye, drug addict, won't fight his mama, get shot. Johnny Guitar Watson, pimp. Rita Franklin, butt naked on stage, had to kind of go to a mental institution. Stevie Wonder, alcoholic, alleged drug abuse. George Clinton, alleged heroin abuse. They can go back. The older generation that complain about the rap, all the artists was losers. Prove me wrong. Couldn't stay together. How many different Temptations you had? Temptations had how many different lead singers? Show me where the musicians in the past it. Yeah, she got butt naked on stage. Back then you didn't have social media, so nobody knew it. I heard my mother told me about it. Show me, if you want the youth, you want better stuff from the youth, show me who could pass it down to them. Even the more recent rap, show me what they could pass down. Lil Wayne, look at him. Who in the hell gonna want to be like we? Look at Weezy. Y'all telling me that Lil Wayne is something that the young people will look up to? The way he started looking like a damn monster. Can't rap now. Don't know his lyrics or nothing. Show me what Lil Wayne could pass down to the shorties. Outkast, Andre 3000, a weirdo. What Andre 3000 could pass to my son? And he's a weirdo. Yeah, Andre 3000, weirdo. Got so weird, they couldn't even keep the group together. What's the one? Who's that peep and them weirdos? Who in the hell want to be like them? Because I'm trying to figure out what was passed down to the youth, even with parenting. Even with, yeah, she was weird. Look at Erica. All over the place, burning incense, sleep with this one, sleep with Common, sleep with him, sleep with everybody. And they talking about Sexy Red. What's the difference in Sexy Red and Erica Badu? He's always played the flute. Andre 3000 always played the flute. Shit. Just look at him. He looks like a flute player. And so I hear people complain about the shorties, what the shorties supposed to. You probably don't know what flute I'm talking about. I'm talking about the skin flute. Y'all know what's going. Y'all know what's going. Y'all know what's going on in ATL. Y'all know what they was on. What did they pass down? No problem, Kathy. So I just wanted to talk about this because there was nothing passed down to the youth. Let me give you an example with parenting. Even the parenting. Right? Had went down and down and down. Way back, they been dropped the ball. Back with Marvin Gaye, want to beat up his mother getting shot. And all back then, it was a whole bunch of weirdos. Prince. What did Prince pass down to our sons? Michael Jackson. What did they pass down of any value to young people doing music today? What young dude want to be them? Young Thug, maybe. So nobody want to honestly look at the past generation of musicians and how dysfunctional they were. They didn't pass anything down, worth nothing. I'm trying to figure out where the youngins supposed to get all of this stuff to do all this magical, nice music. Where they supposed to get that from? Where are the young people supposed to get that from? You look at the parenting. By the time you got to the 80s, 90s, parents was in Chuck E. Cheese fighting in front of the children. When I lived in O Block in the early 2000s, sometimes I would look out in the parking lot and I would see a grandmother, 49, a daughter, 30, and a granddaughter, 14, fighting another grandmother, 50, daughter, 31, granddaughter, 15. 3 against 3, all of them out there, ghetto as hell. Yeah, the grandmama, the mama, and the daughter fighting another grandmama, mama, and daughter. All those ones is 49 and 50. The other ones in their 30s, the other ones teenagers. 3 generations out there fighting. Those is the parents of this generation of rappers. They talking about, the children, what they supposed to talk. You go back to KRS-One. And KRS-One come out. Stop the violence. Stop the violence. You're headed for self-destruction. He turned around a few weeks later. He throw this hippie off the stage. You get on the song. You singing self-destruction. Stop the violence. You turn around a few weeks later. You throw a guy that ain't into no fighting or nothing off the stage. That's why KRS-One career. Why you think KRS-One career disappeared? Because we stopped messing with him. Because everybody said he was a liar. Bro, you just did a song telling the youth to stop the violence, and you turned around and you threw a brother off the stage. So now that generation that's seen that, what do they have to pass to the next generation? They didn't have anything to pass to the young generation. In order for the young generation to do a certain thing, you have to pass on the ball. You have to have something to pass down. Nobody wants to admit there was nothing to pass down to Dirk, to NBA Youngboy, to Chief Keef. There was nothing to pass them. Where was they going to get any type of concept of anything to rap, anything other different than what they rapping? That's why I'm confused at. Like, they was just going to rap something totally different than the community. We're going to pretend that the rap is bad and the community is great. The community sucks. All the brothers out there talking about they want to hear some positive rap and the community ain't positive. Well, you positive rap from where? 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 All these weirdo crystals and stuff rap. Where? You see brothers got on crystals and bronze and stuff and rapping. Go outside and show me somebody outside like that. They don't reflect the community. Ain't nobody in the community got on all them crystals and shit. Go to any gas station and show me somebody pull up at the gas station with all them crystals and bangles on. The metaphorical of the symbolical. They don't never be outside. Where's those people outside? I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm in Chicago. I don't never see metaphysical money. They ain't outside. They ain't outside. Go get me the metaphysical brothers, the brothers talking about how to learn. They don't represent the black community. They represent a weird group of weirdos. Nobody's outside like that. No, nobody is outside like that. Nobody. Not in St. Louis either. Nobody outside in St. Louis like that. So pull this up from where? Like, you don't like the music they doing. All right, what kind of music should they be doing? And where they going to get that from? That's the part I'm not understanding. I don't understand it. Because the oldest artist created this. If Marvin Gaye's daddy shot him, why you don't blame him for wanting to beat up his mama and not passing a decent legacy down? A weirdo George Clinton, why you not blaming him? Weird ass Prince, why you not blaming him? Why you not blaming all the artists before them? That was Gil Scott-Heron. I went to see Gil Scott-Heron. I go to see him and Stevie Wonder. I go to watch him. He come out. He on H. He a junkie. If I listened to Gil Scott and looked up to Gil Scott, and I went to see him and Stevie Wonder, and I go to the bathroom and he comes out the stall and he's a junkie, have he given me anything to pass down? Yes or no? Am I going to pass down his music or anything about him? Yes or no? If I go to see Peter Tosh and I leave and Stevie Wonder there blind, drunk, and he can't even see, and all the Rastas got to tell me he's ashamed of himself, am I going to pass that legacy down to the next generation of a drunk Stevie Wonder? Because I don't tell you the whole truth over here. They ain't putting me on no radio. Ain't nobody gonna play with me. Ain't nobody in this music that watch that, support that gonna play with me. Because most of them ain't got nothing to pass down to the next generation itself. Most of the brothers that tell me, no, you wrong, this and that, can't pass nothing down. Ain't got no type of legacy or no type of living lifestyle or nothing to pass down to the next generation to make it different. That's like make-believe. Man, they shouldn't rap this bad stuff. They should rap. They never say what they should rap. They always say they shouldn't be rapping about all this shooting. They shouldn't be rapping about all this sexy stuff. But they never say what they should be rapping about. Y'all ain't noticed that? All right, what should they be rapping about, Mr. Smart Man? What should they be rapping about? So they try to say back in the day, we did good music. Back in the day, it was a bunch of dope fiends and losers. And you didn't do good music. You had writers to write it. You just got up there and sang it. And the music wasn't positive. Get the hell out of here. That's a lie. That's a lie. The music I grew up to, that music wasn't positive. That's a lie. Don't nobody want this smoke. I'm a music expert. Play it, DJ it, got a record label. The old music was never positive. Had a couple songs, but overall it was trash. It was degenerate, and that's what created their grandbabies. I'll give you an example. Tell me if this is positive. Me and Mrs. Jones, we got a thing going on. Is he Mr. Jones? What's the difference in that? And bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. Same song, ain't it? I'm just saying. He's sleeping with Mr. Jones' woman. All the people older than me, that was their song. Me and Mrs. Jones, we got a thing going on. Ain't no use in coming home. Jody got your gal and gone. That's what they was singing. That was music that was positive for the youth. You down with OPP? You down with OPP? That was positive. Shirley Murdoch, all of that. All the way down. Ice Cube was phony. Ice Cube was not no gangster or no street dude. Ice Cube was a school kid. Nothing Ice Cube rap reflected his lifestyle. He was phony. The only one of them that was NWA was Eazy-E. Dre wasn't like that. Ren wasn't like that. Ice Cube wasn't like that. They wasn't like that. Eazy-E was the only one was like that. Snoop. Snoop wasn't like that. Snoop wasn't no gangster. They passed that down to the youth. Snoop did a song where he went to the devil And the devil blessed him and made him rich. Murder was the case. Ain't devil work. He said he bowed down to the devil. Right in the song. So I'm saying, I'm looking at everybody complaining about the youth, but I've been doing music a long time and I'm trying to figure out, I understand the complaints, but I really don't understand where they supposed to get anything else from. That's what I'm confused. So people say, do you support the music they doing? I'm saying, what else would they do? What else would they do? Because when it comes to rap, if your son's going to school to be an electrician, he not going to rap. If your son's going to law school, he's not going to rap. If he's going for some type of mathematical business, he's not going to rap. If your daughter's going to college, university, she not going to rap. If your son and daughter in medical school, they not going to rap. So who going to rap? The ones at home. The ones that ain't going to college. The ones that ain't got nothing going for them. Who else going to rap? Shorty outside. He outside wild. Let me paint the picture for y'all what's really going on. Shorty outside. He outside wild. He gangbanging. He running around busting that gun all the time. Right? But that ain't all they do. So he run around gangbanging. They do all they hang out, they smoke, they talk to girls, and they get around people that go in the studio. So Shorty out here wild. He go in the studio, you find out he can rap. He King Von. He cold. You found out he could rap. He's just a street kid. You found out he could rap. So you put in there, I'm in dangerous. That's why they want you to me. Okay? He rap about what he living. Then they say, Shorty ain't supposed to, they don't want Shorty to rap that. Shorty could rap. What else he gonna rap about but the type of person he already is? Von was that already. It wasn't like he was rapping to be that. When you rap, you put words together, and the only words you're gonna put together is the way you live. I'm 68. I'm getting ready to start rapping. I can't rap no conscious shit. My life ain't conscious. I can't rap that. They're going to be fake. I got to rap about people playing with me because they say I got gray hair, shit like that. That's why I got to rap about doing something to you, playing with me, thinking my age won't still get you dealt with. That's why I got to rap. That's my life. My life is you playing, but I'm not playing. You don't fucking know me. My life is, they say, you too old to rap. I'm too old for you to tell me what the fuck to do. Mind your business. That's what I rap about. If I'm too old to rap, come shut me up. If you can't stop me from rapping, sit your punk ass down somewhere. Mind your fucking business. That's why I would rap. I wouldn't be rapping no, but I might throw something in there you need to eat right. You need to get off of pork bellies and all that. I thought that if it rhymed. But I can't rap no positive shit. I don't got no positive. I got stabbed up and left for dead. I'm in Chicago. What you want me to rap about? Then I live around young people that like to play and talk crazy to elders and get me mixed up with their stinking ass daddy at the church. I'm not your not your daddy or your granddaddy at the church. I'll do you dirty. You don't know me. So what you want me to rap about? You want me to rap about really me? Or you want me to rap positive shit? I don't know no positive shit. I know when I go outside, I got to keep my head on the swivel. I know that. I know outside don't give a damn if I'm positive. I'm going to get knocked down out there if I ain't on my square. I know that. That's what I know. What you want me to rap? They say, oh, you too old to be rapping. So you telling me I go in the store. It's a fine-ass chicken there. She only 28, 29. She thick as hell. She wanna get with me. I'm going to pass it up because I'm 68. I'm not going to knock her back out. I'm too old to knock her back out. I'm too old to knock Shorty back out if she thicker than a Snicker and she trying to holler at me. I'm too old. What the hell I'm going to rap about? I'm back from the dead. And so when I get the pen and the paper, I might say anything. I don't know what I'm going to say. I might get on a tangent about people not eating right. I might say anything. But I don't see how I'm going to write no positive shit from where. Ain't nothing positive out here. I don't see nothing positive. They say, well, won't you rap trying to teach the youth? Nah, raise your own goddamn kids. I ain't trying to rap to raise your damn kids. You raise them. Well, you want me to, what, I'm a babysitter? That what you want me to do? You want me to raise your kids? I'm going to tell your kids some shit to save their life, like watch who you play with before you get your noodles knocked out your shit. That's what I'm going to tell your son. I'm going to tell your son he's going to go to prison. He going to get unalived out here playing. That's what I'm going to tell him the real shit. I ain't going to tell him no nice fairy tale shit. I'm going to tell him if he don't watch his dipstick, he going to have HIV. That's what I'm going to tell him. I'm going to tell him ain't nobody playing with you out here. Don't nobody give a damn how old you is. Don't nobody care how young you is, and don't nobody care how old you is. Don't nobody care. I'm not going to be trying to rap, trying to raise no kids on no damn rap song. Trying to say no fake positive shit. Ain't nobody listening to that. Ain't nobody listening to no fake positive song. Positive songs don't raise nobody. Like I said, we had all these brothers talked all that black stuff. What's the name of their record label? What's the name of their record label? They black. They positive, right? Did they get together? Okay. You got all these brothers. They get on songs talking about black unity, right? Did they unite? Did they unite? Did they get record label? What did they do for black music? Put it in the chat. Keep it real. What did they do? What did they pass down to the young rappers of today? They got caught up with substances and the women. They got caught up doing weird stuff with substances with black women. They didn't stay together no time, and Mos Def is a weirdo. KRS-One got on here and said, "Stop the violence," and went and threw a brother off the stage. Threw this man off the stage. Right after he said, "Self-destruction, you're headed for self-destruction." Then he turned around after singing all that positive stuff and threw this man off the stage. This guy with the white glasses on, some substance fell out his pocket on stage. He was a junkie. And Chuck D kept him and got rid of the revolutionary. Got rid of Griff, but kept the junkie. Now, they passed something down to the next generation, and then they talked a bunch of black stuff. A bunch of black stuff. A bunch of stuff the black community should do. Where's their record label? Where's their record label? Because I thought pro-black, I thought it was do for self. Show me what they did for self. Show me what they did for self. They talk the talk. Show me where the pro-black rappers got together, did a tour, started a record label, or did anything pro-black. So now you mean they didn't do nothing, they fell off, and you want something to be passed down to the drill rapper generation? What? What got passed down to them? What? What was there to pass down to them? What did they pass down to the next generation? What did they pass down? Because you can't say the young people should be doing, so you got to show me what they should be doing. What should they be doing? The babies is rapping, they had to start from scratch. If you was a rapper, man, listen. My son did a song. They had a radio station with Chuck D and them. We sent my son's song to him, and I know he got a bunch of times right there on Twitter. Man, Chuck didn't look out for him none. Chuck didn't play that boy's song. And it was a positive song. Chuck didn't ever play my son's song. Chuck didn't put nobody on. He acted like he didn't see you. Unless you was somebody plugged with him or some kind of weirdo way. He didn't reach out for no black youth out here and put them on that damn radio station. You had to be somebody kissing his ass and then they little clique. Who he made famous? Nobody. None of these people made nobody famous. KRS-One left his group and went out on his own. He ain't done nothing for nobody. All he be doing is going and talk about hip-hop to Europeans. KRS-One is the teacher somewhere teaching Europeans about hip-hop. You don't never see KRS-One in no black school or nowhere black talking to no damn body. When the last time when he came to Chicago, talked to some black youth in Chicago? When Chuck D came to Chicago, talked to some black youth in Chicago? When? 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 When Rakim come and talk to some black youth in Chicago? When? When? When did they give black youth anything ever in their life? When they reach out and take black youth and put them in the studio so they can rap positive and show them something positive? When? When you seen that? When you seen that special on MTV or your MTV rap? Oh, they reaching out for the youth. You can come down and spit. Come down. When have you seen the pro-black rappers, the conscious rappers, the backpack rappers? When you ever see them reach out for anybody? What's up, Uprise? When? So now when the shorties, many generations later, coming up in a bad situation, and they basically gang banging and throwing their lives away right on the song, now everybody's saying they need to do this, they need to do that after the fact of the matter, that the shorties is out here. You know the shorties ain't got no, you know something wrong with them. How you gonna criticize them? Anytime a shorty go out here and shoot somebody and get on social media and hint that he did it, get on the song and hint that he did it, you know something wrong with the shorty. How you gonna criticize somebody that's something already wrong with them? You know something wrong with them. So you gonna say you need to change your life and something wrong with them. That makes sense? Shorty ain't got no sense. You're saying they need to get some sense. From where? That's why I'm confused. From where? Where are they supposed to get some sense from? You know why you say they need to get some sense? Because you ain't outside. You ain't in these projects. You ain't in these poor neighborhoods. You just talking. You ain't there. You ain't in none of these poor neighborhoods. You ain't around them. You don't even go to their concerts or nothing. So y'all telling me that people like Chuck D and stuff like that ain't supposed to go to NBA YoungBoy concert backstage? Because to me, that's what they supposed to do. Those brothers were supposed to go to the Dirt concert. They VIP. They were supposed to go get around the young brothers. They don't have to try to father them. They don't have to son them. They don't have to teach them. Just showing up. That's all they would have to do. And the shorties would be, imagine NBA YoungBoy, he come off stage and Chuck D backstage. Say, yeah, checked out your show. It's good work. You're doing a good job. Stay out of trouble. He'd love it. He'd be impressed. He gonna start thinking different. But when he come backstage, is Chuck D there? No. Nobody's there. Nobody that criticizes him is there. Conscious rappers didn't pass nothing down. and the R&B people, pro-marketing, didn't pass nothing down to them. And the parents didn't pass nothing down. So the kids didn't have no music in school or nothing. What you want from children that try to play his trumpet and downstairs they beating on the floor? Stop making that noise. That's the generation they came up in. My generation, you could play your trumpet or whatever, the neighbors will let you do. But you was already lost. By the time I was buying these albums, you was lost. All these albums is made by a bunch of corruption was going on with these artists. These was not positive people. There was nothing positive about Marvin Gaye on stage at Soul Train under hot lights with a skull cap on. So when you say you need to make music like we used to make, them people was losers. All the people, the music you think was better, them people was losers and negative, including the conscious ones, was losers. Like I said, X-Clan got caught up with a scam with a girl and some white stuff. So that's the role model for the shorties? None of the positive rappers liked each other. X-Clan and KRS-One beefing. So let me ask you something. If you look at the beef between the drill rappers, and you say the drill rappers shouldn't be beefing, what's worse, the drill rappers beefing or X-Clan and KRS-One beefing? Put it in the chat. Which one is worse? Which one is worse, the drill rappers with no knowledge from the hood and the gangs beefing, or the black conscious leaders beefing? Which one is worse? Because X-Clan and KRS-One was beefing. Which one was worse? And you telling me if X-Clan and KRS-One is beefing, you telling me we're going to get some positive shorties? You telling me out of that, both can't be worse. Which one is worse? Look, he said both. Which one is worse? No. No, the one is worse. Listen, if you the daddy and you doing corruption and the son doing corruption, who's worse? The daddy. Because the daddy is the influence on the son. KRS-One and X-Clan would be the daddy. These rappers would be the grandson. You telling me that the granddaddy acting like a fool is equal to the grandson when the granddaddy is creating an environment for that to happen? All of that pro-marketing, they passed it down. Listen, I'm born in 1958. I come up with all this music. They gave me nothing to pass down to the next. There was nothing. When I started my record label, there was nothing I could pass to the shorties from the music before them. As a matter of fact, Uprise, when the shorties do music, the OGs don't even reach for them. Listen, tell me I'm lying. These shorties, you telling me the OGs ain't supposed to try to put some money up, reach for them, take them to the studio, shit like that? They don't. They don't do nothing for the youth. Nothing for the youth. When I say nothing, I mean nothing. I tell you this, now if they do get the youth, they try to rob them. They try to do them just like Universal. What did he say? I did everybody like how Universal and them did me. Diddy was the elder, and how did he treat the shorties? Made them walk for cheesecake. That helped the next generation of music the way Diddy treated them? No. I'm not saying the shorties is right. I'm saying where they was going to get right from. That's why I'm confused. Because I can't understand you wishing somebody was better when you can't show me how that would have happened. How that would have happened. So I hear people say, they shouldn't be rapping this, they shouldn't be rapping that. I'm like, well, okay, what they supposed to be rapping and how that's gonna happen? From where? I lived in O Block, raised my daughter there a long time while I was running my record label. Real gangster shit. Look, when I say I lived in O Block is a situation you live in. Your woman there, she basically on welfare, right? Let me teach y'all something. She basically on welfare. Somebody look at me and say, you live in O Block, y'all was poor and all that. Look, you living in O Block. She only supposed to be getting so much money. If she go get a good job, make some money, you gonna tell them? If I'm living in there with her and I'm making thousands of dollars, we're gonna tell them? So we living in O Block. Well, how much money we got though? We stacking. No rent. Rent what? $80 a month. I'm making what? Thousands. You understand what I'm trying to tell y'all? Because yeah, you ain't gonna try to ball out living if you can live lower but make more money. You're gonna go for the more money than for the showboat. That's a fact if you're a real hustler. If you're a real hustler, you're gonna live cheap and below what look like level for the actual bread. If you're a real hustler, you ain't gonna have nobody problem with somebody looking at you like you just all right and barely making it. If you got 70,000 in the closet, you don't care because you're trying to get the money. You're not trying to look like you got no money. This for the young brothers watching me. The idea is not to look like you got money. The idea is to have money. Duh. The idea is to have money. The idea is not to look like you have money unless you can look like you have money and that could make you more money. But if looking like you got money can't make you more money, but could make you a target and mess up your money, what you gonna do? That's just for the people when they say, I say I live in O Block and stuff like that. So I'm giving you a little game. It's statute of limitations. I can talk now. I met the queen. She was there. She just had started nursing. She had 3 children, got pregnant by me, had a daughter. I've come in, I'm getting money. What we gonna move for? Technically, I don't live there. I ain't on no paperwork or nothing. The rent's extremely low. because she's like on a housing, low income thing. She a nurse making money. I'm making money. I'm going to the studio, making music. This is off subject, but I like to teach brothers, so I'm teaching y'all some game. In case people hear that, and they, because sometimes people be hearing stuff, and that's another thing. People will be hearing me talking and be like, "Oh, he broke," and here go the thing. I'm not gonna respond to that because you're not trying to have money for them, so you're not gonna respond because you're not trying to have money for them. You're just trying to have money. So I'm taking my money. I'm putting my money into the record label. And I'm getting a bag. That's a fact. And I'm not telling nobody I'm getting no money in there. I don't want nobody to know. I just want the money. I only want the business people to know about the business. I don't want the people that's not in business to know about the business. I go in there, I work hard. Boom, I sell 2 songs on TV. Y'all watch Weeds? That's me put that song on there. Who watch Weeds? You heard when they said, warn your dealer. You heard when the song came on, mind your MF business and let a thug smoke. That's me, man. I produced that. I got paid. That's Showtime, CBS, and Lionsgate. Right there in the projects. What I'm going to tell them for? Why are we going to tell them we get money? That ain't their business. And when my daughter, got ready to go to another school, then we moved. That's just that's off subject, but that's just for y'all. So you can learn something that, get the bag, keep your mouth shut. You ain't out here trying to impress nobody. You just try to get your money and move. Everybody don't need to know what you're doing. Everybody don't need to know what you're doing. You just need to get your money. Okay? So we was in there doing our thing. I was moving under the radar. But nobody help you when you do. Nobody help these shorties when they doing music. Nobody help you. Nobody gonna come in and do nothing. They're not gonna throw you a bone or nothing. You're just gonna be out there. Well, I'm in there quietly. We own how many magazines? Getting money. Quietly. In the projects. Anybody gonna reach out for them? Only people reached out for them is Cypress Hill. Didn't no black people or no whites or nobody reach for you when you're in the music business. You got to do it all your own. They only come out to pimp you. when you done already made it. They wait till you already made it and get a buzz, then they try to jump in. Hey, you can come over here, but you got to do all the hard work. Don't nobody help these youth do nothing. That's why it was a good thing to see NBA Youngboy and Dirk and them move up to boss status where they could start signing artists. But the hood got them so messed up that, for women and stuff like that, they're going to be beefing because they don't know no better. They ain't had no guidance like that. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got no guidance. And so when people be criticizing you saying they should do this and they should do that, all I'm trying to say is, how could you say somebody should do something if they're not equipped to do it? You have to be equipped to do it. If I graduate out of high school and I did good, you could say, yeah, Pharaoh should go to school to learn how to be an electrician. Okay, that makes sense. Because I got out of high school, I got good grades, I'm in the ability to go to school to be an electrician. But you can't have me come out to projects, come out of a lower place of living, and then say I should make a certain type of music, because the ones that's coming out making the music, they coming from poverty. These are the ones that ain't going to college. The ones that you want to rap positive rap, they in college. They don't want to rap. So our youth that can rap positive stuff, they don't want to rap. If your son's a real good rapper, but he's getting real good grades in school and he get out of high school, he going to go to college, he going to stop rapping. He want to be a doctor. He want to be a dentist. He want to go to be an architect. He want to be something else. So he going to push rap to the back. If your son could rap real good, but he go and he playing basketball and he get a scholarship, he going to start hooping. He not going to rap. This the one that can rap some positive stuff. So guess who's left to rap? The one stuck in the jungle with no parents, no guidance, and surrounded by negativity. But they can rap. But you only gonna rhyme what you live. That's how you know when people complain, you know they not really rappers. I got the ability to be a rapper, and I know if I'm writing rhymes, I'm only gonna write my reality. If I don't write my reality, now I'm trying to push something, it ain't gonna come from the heart. That's why positive rap don't go nowhere. Because the brothers that be writing positive rap, that's not their life. They trying to write an idea. They trying to construct a positive idea with words. That's why it sounds like trash. Because they not, what they write, that's not them. Let me give you an example. Let's say I'm hustling. I'm a conscious brother. I'm selling all kind of conscious stuff. I'm selling jewelry. I'm selling crystal. Let's say I'm selling, I'm selling positive vitamins. I'm selling classes on extra stuff like that. If I'm a rap, that's what I got to rap about. I got to rap about popping off these vitamins, popping off this sea moss. I got to rap what I'm really doing. I can't get up there rapping the esoterical mind or the function. That's not real. That's why the positive rappers don't go nowhere, because they won't rap their reality. They trying to construct some wordplay. And in this time and era, constructing wordplay, ain't nobody gonna feel it. They gotta feel it, and they ain't gonna feel it if it don't reflect your life. So using all type of words to try to rhyme, That's why that's not selling. That only sold in the beginning when they was desperate and they was putting anybody on TV. In the beginning, Yo MTV Raps, Rap City Debate, they was putting anybody on TV. And a lot of them people could not rap at all. They wouldn't have a chance today at all. Perfect example, X-Clan. X-Clan had 3 girls rap. They was all trash. It was all boring. Them girls was horrible. And with the key sissy was horrible. The only one could rap was the one that was doing all the rapping. He was the only one could rap. The rest of them couldn't rap worth nothing. None of them would have get a deal nowhere except the star. He's the only one would even get a deal today. The rest of them today would never be on TV. Never in their life. The one in the middle with the uncle, he the only one. Brother Jay, I think his name. He the only one would get a deal today. None of these people would be famous or go nowhere. So when you start talking about you want rap the way it used to be trash. It was when everybody was desperate and just watching TV. Now, people want to hear reality. Nobody want to hear you higgity hoppity hop, higgity. Nobody want to hear DOS effects. Not today. That was then. We living at a time where Shorty's gonna rap. They're gonna rap a bunch of street shit. Or they're gonna rap a bunch of sex stuff, or they're gonna rap chasing money. They're gonna start making money. And then their raps are gonna change as they make money. As they make money, as their lifestyle change. When they start writing their raps, they're gonna start pulling thoughts from their new life. But it ain't no way you're going to get them to rap something different. The only way you can change rap and get better rap is you got to invest in the black community. That's it. You can't expect the rappers to come out of bad situations and rap good. You have to go and change the community to change their life, to get them something else to rap about, and to make their raps relevant to the other people, because a bunch of people in the jungle, they don't want to hear no positive rap. They don't want to hear jungle rap. So even in terms of an audience, people that's talking about positive shit, that ain't going to go nowhere. You understand? The sexy rap going to go somewhere, because when the Ice Spice and them rapping sexy, the dudes gonna watch it. Older men gonna watch it. Older women gonna watch it. Young dudes gonna watch it. And the young women gonna watch it. So it's gonna hit. Because the sexy rap, you could play at a party. You can't play the drill rap at a party. It's as simple as that. At a party, men trying to meet girls, girls trying to meet men. So Sexy Red gonna be perfect in a party for young people where their hormones is up and they want to have sex. Duh. You understand? So sexy rap is gonna hit. All they gotta do is make a good song. because it represents partying. For young people, partying is sexy. This is where the dudes want to meet the girls. It's always been like that. You want to meet the girls at the party. When people say they need to put some clothes on, 1 minute, then say we Native Americans and Africans the next minute, that's phony because you was naked. We ain't had no clothes on. The only people that had clothes on is people in cold climates or in the desert where the sand won't tear their body up. So you talk about you some conscious brother, but you mad because a girl booty out. But then they in Africa with their whole ass out, they ain't got no clothes on. Make it make some sense. How many tribes ain't got no clothes on? In South America and Africa. It's tribes ain't got no bra, nothing on. So they trashy? What? You see in the music when you see a woman with no clothes on, it don't just represent just being naked. It don't represent a wild sex. It represents being in shape. You can't be all sloppy and fat and take your clothes off. And so I learned that when I lived in LA. I noticed that in LA, it's warm, women wear less clothes, and they was more in shape too. They took care of their bodies. Whereas in Chicago, where they had winter and they could put all them big coats on, they was fat, they was out of shape. So I started seeing the health benefits of being sexy. When you can't wear no clothes, you can't hide all that fat. If you can't put a bunch of sweaters and stuff on. You take a man in Chicago that's fat and sloppy and let him go live in LA. I bet he lose weight. I bet he lose weight. Some won't, but most will. Why? Because now he can't hide that. And he hot. He going to be sweating. He going to burn more fat. He going to be more active. I noticed when I was in LA, the men weren't looking at the girls. The girls, I went to parties like Hollywood Live. The women would come with see-through outfits on where you could see their bra and their sex parts. None of the guys was paying attention. That's when I learned the psychology. Because now when you come to Chicago and the winter's there, when the winter go away and the girls take off some of their clothes, the men's is like hound dogs. That's because she's had on clothes all winter. But when you go somewhere where it's warm all year, people not freaking out over body. Nobody, listen, if you go to I guarantee if you go to Miami, you go to LA, you go to Hawaii, nobody's gawking over a woman that hardly got no clothes on. It's normal because it's hot. It's tropical. You take that same woman, bring it to Chicago, everybody gonna freak out because everybody used to wearing clothes in the fall, in the spring, and in the winter. That's all it's about. I learned that from traveling. I seen how the men was there in LA. That wasn't no big deal. In Chicago, it's a real big deal. I realized, oh, that's because they always ain't got no clothes, too hot. In Hawaii, I never wore a pair of underwear in my life in Hawaii. I never wore underwear in Hawaii. I wore pants and I had swimming trunks under there. Why? Because you ride around and it's a beach and you just hop out and you go jump in the beach. You go jump in the water. The beach is sporadic. The whole island's beaches all the way around. So you got to have your swimming trunks. Girls ain't got no clothes on. They got a bikini kind of thing on because everybody want to get in the water. But when you go somewhere, everybody in the water, it changed the concept of how you look at the human body. You're not looking at it as sexy You're looking at it as water clothes. You're looking at it as clothes for hot climates. So it changes everything. It's a difference between people that's got 4 seasons and people that pretty much got 1 season, maybe 2. The body is a big deal in a place with cold climate. A place with warm climate, the body ain't nothing. Ain't none of the girls got no clothes on. They look normal. Y'all think women got clothes on in Hawaii? Nobody got no clothes on. Don't got no clothes on. Clothes? You think if you go to Waikiki and you go to, because Hawaii is a beach is all the way around. Ain't nobody got no clothes on at the beach. They don't even wear shoes. They wear flip-flops. They wear them things your toe go in. The men and the women. Nobody wears shoes. Not just clothes. Nobody wears shoes. Sand will be all in your shoes. Everybody's ready to not have no clothes on and jump in the water. So to be tripping over young girls that's over-sexual is crazy. Everybody's over-sexual when they're young. They just get more freedom to do it. Everything they doing, we would have did it if we could have did it. I always use Parliament as an example. Remember Parliament? Tell the roof off the sucker. Tell the roof off the mother sucker. They would have said MF if they could have, right? The only reason they said mother sucker because they had to. If they could have talked like the rappers today, George and them would have did it. The rappers today got more freedom, which is a good thing. But the rappers today got more hostility. They don't have no social skills on how to get along because the older generation didn't teach them none of that. And it's just sad that you expect the youth to do something that nobody took the time to teach them. That's my only point. My only point is nobody took time to teach them nothing. So it's really not fair to criticize a bunch of youth that nobody never taught them nothing. And I don't think a lot of people realize that. And that hasn't gone away. These youth now in the 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, all through high school, nobody's teaching them nothing. Y'all think somebody's teaching them something? No. You have to live in a good area to learn something. If you live in a regular area, low income, ain't nobody teaching nothing. So what kind of music you think they're going to make? You can look at the dynamic and see brothers going to prison and waking up when they get 40, 50 years old. They be 40, 50 years old before they realize they threw their life away. You think they did that on purpose? They don't know no better. Anybody been to prison to tell you? The system is corrupt and they don't know no better. You're born in that. The young people now in the regular low-income places, they're super sexual. Beyond what you could even imagine. And they on a lot of pills and a lot of substances, a lot of them. They're not in their right mind too much at all. And there's really nobody reaching out for them, as many people be complaining. Anytime you got a bunch of people complaining, but nobody reaching out, that's phony. Anytime you complain about the youth, but you ain't never reaching out to the youth, come on, man. Come on. When the last time you took a shorty to the studio where you could have some influence on what he's saying? Where you could say, dang, man, why you say that like that? You know what I'm saying? Man, you're doing all the gang banging, man. That gonna cause some problems. Why don't you change that verse up? You can't sit your ass at home, let Shorty go in there and make a verse, then start making up stuff. Pharaoh, the record labels is doing that. Listen, y'all. When you hear somebody say the record labels behind it, that's a dumbass. It just sounds like a good conspiracy. Ain't no damn record label. What record label? You gotta make your music on your own. Record label ain't helping you make no music. And if the record label, if it's anybody talking a bunch of murder and shit, they start making that on their own, and the record label sign, and they still doing what they was doing before they was with the record label. Ain't no record label gonna take no good kid and say, man, sing about murder and shit. Y'all believe that? Y'all believe the record label take you and tell you say this, say that? The record label not doing none of that shit. Your ass got to get on the song and make it sound hot, and they'll sign you. Record labels not gonna make that shit sound hot. And record labels cannot tell you what to say, and it's gonna sound hot. People that saying that is bozos. Those is clowns. Y'all shouldn't let somebody that ain't in the business talk about the business. They don't know what the hell they talking about. Nobody's gonna buy no record from you because you talking about murder and stuff. They gonna buy the record because you got to be able to say it in a catchy way where somebody else like it. I don't give a damn what you talking about. If you can't make it catchy, they not signing you. You can't just get on a record, kill, kill, murder, murder. They not buying that. You gotta sound catchy. That's what they signing. They not signing the negativity. They signing your ability to say stuff and make it catchy. And that's what the shorties want to hear. Because when you get in the business, you get the business off of YouTube clicks. So I'm a shorty in the hood, and I get out and I gotta rap ignorant, rapping ignorant shorty shit. And ignorant shorties is watching me. Manipulating who? They're like, they got you making this music to manipulate the community. Listen, everybody I'm rapping to is just like this. What you talking about? Chief Keef blew up because they made that song in O Block, and everybody in O Block is exactly like the damn song. That's why. And it's a whole bunch of people like the song, and nobody don't understand that. Nobody don't want to admit that the reason them dark songs catch, because it's a whole bunch of dark shorties. Ain't got nothing to do with the record label. The record label know it's an audience for that. The record label can't push nothing. The record label ain't pushing nothing. The record label only want what's hot. And the girls only like two type of men, angels and devils. If I get on the record and I talk like a devil, the girl's going. The girl's going to learn all the lyrics. I can talk about all the people I want to shoot. And if I can say it good, the girl's buying that. I'm going to go platinum. That's a fact. Right? I'm 68. I could talk to a black woman, 65 right now, 69, 60. And I could talk a bunch of old street ass shit and she gonna love it. And she could be a damn church lady. She gonna be like, you is too much. You is something else. You gonna shoot him, Pharaoh? Yeah, baby, he mess with me. I'm gonna knock his noodles out. You gonna knock his noodles out? What I'm gonna do with you? That's what she gonna say. She gonna let me knock her back out. She gonna be my woman, and she gonna feel safe. Because you know if you play with her, it's going to go down. And that's a fact, because they only like angels and demons. I'm telling you. And everything them shorties rap is real shit. They say, Pharaoh, do you listen to them? If they style is, if I like their style, yeah, I listen to them. Right now, I listen to G Herbo a lot. But when I listen to G Herbo and I hear the song and I hear what he rapping about, and I go outside, the music is the soundtrack to the environment I'm in. The music, to me, the music is the news. And the news only reports what's really going on. So when I listen to the shorties talking, I listen to their record. If it's good and they can rap it good, it's the news. And what it does to me, it keeps me safe. So drill music keeps me safe because people are like, well, why you listen to drill? I live in Chicago. If I don't listen to what they say, I'm in the dark. Now, if I was a different older person, I wouldn't have to listen to it because I would have a different life. I'm not an older person like most older people. I be outside, right? So a lot of my friends, they not like me. You know, they counselors or they ex-sheriffs or they parole officers or they work for some company. So that music don't fit their lifestyle. They like to go to church. They like to listen to like the OJs and stuff like that. I'm in the music business. I'm around young black men and women making money. I'm a businessman. The money is in the younger people. There ain't no money in the older people. They not spending like that. And I like the music, to me, keeps me aware of my surroundings. You know what I'm saying? And then I love music. And when you love music, you always want to hear the new stuff. You always want to hear the new stuff. And I was been listening to G Herbo when he couldn't rap, when he was off beat. He's very impressive, as good as he got. It's impressive. How he went to rapping off beat to now he's fire. But it's only certain songs I like. And that's the main reason the music business is, not doing as well as it could do because CDs, you can't sell CDs. When you're not selling CDs, your approach to making music doesn't be the same. When they go in the studio and they make songs now, they just make a song, make a song, make a bunch of songs. Then they sit back and say, which ones we're going to put on the project? They get them together and put them on the project because they don't sell CDs. If you lived in an era where you sell the CDs or tapes, now when you make music, you're thinking in terms of a project as a CD. When they're rapping, they're not thinking of a project. They just rapping because they dropping one song and getting that YouTube money. So they don't got to think in terms of the project. G Herbo's last stuff was just a bunch of songs that he was making for YouTube, and he just put them together. That wasn't really constructed like no album. You can hear it's not no album. But if you're making an album, making a CD, it's a different process. That's why we have intros. See, they don't be having no intros. It's just the first song, second, because they're not making it for a CD. So that's one reason that a lot of people don't think the music now is as good as it used to be because they don't understand the concept on what's going on with the sales. The sales are different. Because when you're constructing a CD, you're forced to make certain songs. They not. They just throwing songs together and put it out on a project, and they not making CD money. For the young brothers that's watching me, you're not gonna make no CD money. You don't have to worry about no CD money. You don't have to worry about no album sale money. You're gonna make all your money from YouTube. Everybody getting paid from YouTube. They're making more money from YouTube than they making on Spotify or any of that. Spotify is nothing. iTunes, nothing. The money's YouTube. So they making a song, put a video together, boom, put it on there, monetize it, and you're getting fat ass checks every month. You're getting $50,000 checks every month with your YouTube. Chief Keef started that. Him and Soulja Boy created the YouTube money. You're going to make more money on YouTube than you're going to make anywhere. And that's a fact. If you think I'm lying, go right now on YouTube, search Chief Keef. And you're going to see a whole bunch of pictures. Same picture, like moving picture, 20 of them. Drop song, whole bunch of views. Then 20 different pictures. He's just getting rich. He ain't even making no videos. He's just getting money off the clicks. Getting filthy rich. Nobody know it. Yeah, Chief Keef. Go look at Chief Keef YouTube right now. You're going to see he posting still pictures and songs and getting views, getting clicks, and getting YouTube. Man, that man, they don't tell how much $1,000 of money he getting. Thousands. That's more money than iTunes going to pay you. Yeah, visuals, that's more money than iTunes going to pay you, Spotify, anything. YouTube pay the most money. And they say, well, Pharaoh, why are you doing the vines? Because that's the audience. You're going to make the music for your audience. That's what the audience want to hear. So this is what people say. They say, so Pharaoh, he making negative music so the negative kids can hear the negative music, do negative things. The fact of the matter is he making the negative music for the positive kids. The good kids want to hear that. They making their money from good kids. They ain't making their money from bad kids. They ain't making no money from bad kids and influencing the neighborhood to do bad shit. They ain't making no money like that. Most of their listeners is people that never do none of that shit they saying. I'm telling y'all the facts. Other people gonna tell you make believe. They are making music for people that ain't gonna do none of that what they saying. That handful of dudes that's going out there doing that ain't their fan base. Them dudes out there shooting and stuff, that's not their fan base. Their fan base is high school kids, college kids got jobs and shit. Their biggest fans is people that ain't never gonna do none of that. And they go to the concert. I went to the Dirt concert, I'm telling you. All them kids in there was good kids. It wasn't no really hood dudes out in there. Very few. Everybody in there was a college kid and a young kid just in there to say all the lyrics. And their favorite songs is the emotional songs. And so don't listen to a lot of these people. Them shorties ain't making no. The good ones make emotional songs. The ones that's making all the killer, those are beginners. So the ones with 10 dudes in the video with guns, those beginners, they don't know no better. Once they learn the game, they're not going to be in the video doing that. They're going to be, you do a video and you talk about a whole bunch of stuff going on in your life. You just, every half a verse, you saying something, My mama, she let me down, and my girlfriend, she trying to clown me, and my boys, they run around, that's how you got to make a song now. You got to tell everything, you got to make a song real time, I'll be listening. You got to make the song, you got to tell everything going on in your life. basically. And you got to go through the whole gamut so that you can say something like the Rod Wave type stuff. So you can say something they can relate to. And when you go to concert, when I went to the Dirk concert, they looking in the air with their eyes closed and they saying all that stuff. A whole bunch of good kids. And he ain't saying no whole bunch of drill stuff. They ain't saying as much drill as people think they are. They'll take that one or two songs, say, man, only talk. No, they songs don't be talking about that. They songs be some more emotional stuff more than anything. I ain't nobody with them. Everybody let them down. That's what the songs mostly be. Their songs be some emotional stuff. They songs don't be no whole bunch of shoot 'em up. Like Dirk ain't singing no, he be a young boy. They ain't singing a whole lot of shoot 'em up stuff. They singing a bunch of emotional stuff. Go listen to NBA Young Boy. He singing a bunch of emotional stuff. They're not making drill albums. They might have a drill song on there, but they're not making drill albums. The only ones making drill songs is the ones just coming off the block, beefing and shit. They making them. But it ain't as popular as people think. The violent songs ain't that popular like that. The emotional songs is the ones, the big hits. These shorties want to hear you go through life. They got problems. A lot of them got issues, they be thinking about socially. I ain't gonna say mental issues, but they got things on their mind. And so they want to hear you, talk about that stuff. They be at the concert with their eyes closed, crying and stuff, repeating everything Dirk say. I would advise you to go to the show and see for yourself. If you ever go to a Lil Durk show, an NBA Youngboy show, you'll be like, oh, I see what the hell Pharaoh talk about. They ain't on what you think. It's a bunch of emotional stuff. It's about 20% drill and it's 80% emotional stuff. That's why so many girls, y'all think girls is coming to see them because they just talking about shoot them again, shoot. No, that ain't why the girls coming. A large portion of their songs is about women doing them dirty. You got to go to the show. You see, it ain't no shoot. They're not doing that. They're not rapping that. I don't know what you mean about troll rappers. It's different types of rappers. And the rappers coming up, okay, it's like this, Lucas. Me and my boys, we gangbanging, we selling pills, we doing whatever. I started to rap, my boys started to rap. We beefing with dude and them over there, they doing the same thing. We're going to go in the studio, we're going to be beefing with them, right? We'll be making songs about beefing with them. They take that and they try to say that's drill. They try to pick us out and say we represent the genre, which really we don't. We represent new dudes get in it, and we still in the streets, and we just rapping about the streets. We don't really represent the genre like that. Right? So we don't really represent the genre. I don't want you teaching over here, bro. Just listen. You don't teach on top of me. Right? Because they not officially rappers yet. You understand? They starting to rap. So their ideas about songs and stuff, they ain't there yet. So they take those groups and they try to make them the face of the music, but they really not. They're not really the face of the music. These is young dudes still in the streets and trying to rap. They said, I want to be a rapper. And then because they're young and I'm Bobo and I'm beefing with Jeff, I get on the record and I diss Jeff. And Jeff diss me. Now they say, well, Pharaoh, that's where the negative at. That's where the sales at too. Because the only audience they got is their local audience. They don't got a big audience. So this is how they get a buzz, because in their neighborhood, the Jeff people know, and he built up his people, and Bobo people know and built up his people. That's why that be like that. Because they don't got no audience, so they just rap into the neighborhood, and the neighborhood is beefing. Now, if they don't get in no trouble, don't allow nobody and stay in it and get a bigger audience, now they start expanding what they be rapping about. So they don't never really explain that. They try to say, oh, they just all rap about shooting. No. These are the ones coming out the streets trying to rap. They ain't got nothing else to rap about but beefing, and they rapping to a smaller audience. Now, in the midst of doing that, if they get lucky and make a song that go further than that, then they start to expand what they be rapping about. They not rapping in an expansive mind state because they ain't got no audience. So if I'm on Field Block and we beefing with Momo Block, I'm going to rap about the hell with Momo Block. Momo Block dude going to rap about the hell with me because that's the only audience we got. That's why they doing that. Not because it's going to make no whole lot of money. They're not going to make no whole lot of money like with that. That's why so many of them fall off, because you got to be willing to stay in it long enough. As you get more fans, now you're going to expand what you're saying, and now you can rap to more people. That's all it is. And there's no record label. Record labels ain't giving you no deal yet. So when they say the record label told them to do that, what record label? These shorties ain't on no record label. And when they own a record label like Dirk and they come out with the song Aha and all that, the record label ain't behind that. The record labels ain't behind that. Record labels don't tell you what to rap. You gotta rap. And they listen to it to see if it's gonna sell. It's just the record label's not telling you nothing. These people are not in the music business, don't know what they're talking about. There's no record label gonna come tell you to rap no street shit. It don't work like that. Record labels only want to see you when the product's done. They not gonna tell you what to rap. You gotta figure it out. And if you rap some street stuff and it pop, they with it. If you rap some emotional stuff in it, all they want is it going to sell? So when people say they rap all this negative stuff, the record labels cannot make the negative stuff sell. If it sell, it's because the people like it. Period. If they don't like it, it ain't going nowhere. And I'm in Chicago, we got thousands and thousands of drill rappers. They're not going nowhere because the people don't like it. The people not going to just buy it because you're talking about shooting and hurt people. It does not work like that. You still have to say that in an appealing way. Still. And for people that like old school rap to say that ain't no good, but like Biggie, beef is when I see you, guaranteed to be in ICU, they phony. Because they was doing the same thing. I hit them up. What you mean? What you think hit them up is? He gonna drill them. Spice one, drill. So these old dudes need to shut the fuck up. They phony as hell. All you old brothers that's complaining about the young music, y'all phony. Because they said the same thing when you was coming up. Shut up and tell that to somebody else. Don't come to Big Pharaoh with that. You're phony. And been that. They been gunplay in the music. Been. You're phony. All the way back. KRS One. Ba-da-da-dang, ba-da-da-da-da-dang. Listen to my 9mm go bang. Same shit. Different toilet. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. KRS One was talking about gangster stuff, and Spice One definitely was on that. I mean, not Spice One, the Jamaican dude with him was definitely on that. KRS One and his Jamaican homie, they was on gangster shit. Then he realized the positive stuff will work better. KRS One was on some gangster stuff. I had the CDs. Just Ice. Just Ice was drill. It was Jamaican, but it was drill. All he was talking about was doing something to somebody. Super Cat. You know, everybody back on me's a rude boy. Use that means a backpack, no check. Bow, bow. He on the motorcycle riding back was robbed a bank. All gunplay. Exactly, drill. Basically drill. Spice One, drill. Drill. Cool G Rap, drill. Rakim, drill. Drill. Rakim was talking about cooking up C. That's what you talking about. He wasn't talking about no gods and earth shit. Because the gods and earths and all them. Listen, man, the 5%ers, come on, man. The 5% concept is the 95 is lost. The 5 is found. And the 5 could sell anything to the 95% because they lost. I think the nation is, so I'm saying 10%. 10% is chosen, and the hell with the other 90%, and we can sell them whatever because they lost anyway. Nobody want to tell the truth. That's them teachers. Them teachers is the only ones worth being anything is whatever percent they are, that 5% or that 10%. The other 95% or the other 90% is what they call lost and found. And they can do anything to you. That's a fact. Same gangster stuff. Same thing. Dude just started 5%. He was out there with a gun in his pocket, smoking cigarettes, shooting dice, and drinking liquor. That's what he was doing. Clarence was a gangster hood dude with a gun in his pocket, a cigarette in his mouth, and some liquor on his brow, and some dice in his head. It ain't really self-justification to be no scumbag. It just was the reality of what they was dealing with. It's like being in the streets and they say you the horrible person that's selling substances, but big time business people buying it. But they paint you as the bad guy. You Al Capone, you the bootlegger, you the horrible one, but everybody drinking. That kind of thing. That's what Scarface say hello to the bad guy. Because they pick somebody to be the bad guy, and the good people is the same damn way. They just let somebody else take the bad name. So if they scumbags, everybody that dealt with them is scumbag. Basically, that's what's going on, Ice Rock. That's the world we in. And so my point is, this stuff been going on a long time, and nothing was passed down to the youth. And if anybody you can find, anybody want to debate me, I'll debate them. Everybody talking about the music ain't this and that. They cannot show me not one generation that passed anything positive down to the young people that's doing music now. I challenge them. I want them to show me when was it ever positive. It was never positive. It was always funny stuff. It was always a bunch of LGBTQ. It was always over sexualized of women. It was always gangster. 97% of it. People like me who remember going home and have to sit there forever to see a Black Conscious rap video on Rap City or Yo MTV. We had to wait between all that other stuff. We had to wait. We had to wait. Outkast and Goody Mob and them, that's LGBTQ. That was LGBTQ music. That wasn't positive. You won't have no babies like that. Look at Andre. Who in the hell want to be like Andre? Why you really think him and Dude really didn't get along? And there was a big split. Because when they first started out, Andre wasn't like that. And they did the Cadillac music and stuff. But as time went, Andre Now, that's why for a long time you didn't see them together. That whole Atlanta scene was LGBTQ and child traffic. I ain't gonna say no too much, but the whole thing with the little boys with their clothes on backwards like that, with the zipper in the back. And, it was stories about the one that passed away. He had, he has things to say. Yeah, down there, that wasn't no positive music. I'm just saying. That definitely wasn't no positive music down there. They just was hiding it, speaking in code the whole time. They were speaking in code down there. So when they be talking about, positive music, they don't want to hear the negative music The positive music was negative. The music that they call that wasn't violent was worse than the violent music. And that's how they want it. They want you looking at the drill rappers as negative. That way you won't see this. They don't want you to see this. They don't really want you to see the real dark ones. They hiding them. You know what I'm saying? Try using the drill rappers and the sexy reds as like camouflage for something else. I'm just telling you. You know, try to blame the street element. You know what I mean? For everything. You know what I'm saying? They don't say nothing about this though. See what I mean? This is the ones before the drill. This dude right here. Now the drill come after him, right? All right, what he passed down to stop drill music. This the ones rapping right before the drill music. All right, this was gonna prevent drill. He don't have to take no responsibility for the direction the music went, cause wasn't nobody going. Who gonna listen to him? How he gonna influence young men? Tell me that. And all that behavior was in that black conscious music, okay? All them earrings in your nose and all, okay? I'm just telling you. The music that you thought was positive, man, listen. The music that you say, oh man, I'm just showing you what did they leave for the shorties. The positive guys. You understand? But you don't want to point out the positive guys, right? You want to blame the drill rappers. This will make you be a drill rapper, won't it? I'll be a drill rapper before I be this on my soul. This was your positive rappers. That's what they want. That's what they really was the whole time. I'm just telling you. From as far as you can go back. See, on nobody. That's why I say they ain't gonna argue with me, cause I don't got no receipts, but I got stuff. I got pay stubs. Now you tell me how bad drill rap is. Which one would you do? Would you do? Would you dress like a drill rapper, or would you dress like dude with the gold robo in the yellow underwear? Which one? I'm gonna go with the drill. I'm gonna go look at the dude with the purple jacket on and his fist up, and look at the one in the yellow and the black. Look at him. I'm just saying. So me, I'm gang in this bitch, gang in this. Yeah, I go that way. I'm a gorilla in the fucking zoo. In the fucking zoo. Oh no me. Run, run, run for the pole. Can't sleep. Gas what I smoke. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Chief Keef before I go with this all day. This is the foundation of hip hop. When they be talking about go back to how it used to be. What they passed down to the shorties. So y'all want the shorties to be weirdos like this with some big old plastic beads and some fake plastic, fake leather hats made out of plastic and ain't really nothing what you rapping. Just put on some red, black, and green fake black conches. These dudes wasn't none of that. Y'all believe these dudes was really black conches? These dudes was not that. Y'all think any of us with black consciousness messed with them? We didn't mess with them. We're like, who is these bozos? And why they got on plastic hats? Well, I couldn't get past the plastic hats. Tribe Called Quest. Man, listen. Let me tell you something. Soon as your name Q-Tip, boy, go sit down. Boy, I ain't never messed with no dude named Q-Tip. I never liked them. They been trashed the day they came out. I remember when I first seen them, I didn't like them. I'm sitting back, dudes come on my TV. They was like, I lost my wallet in El Segundo. I lost my wallet in El Segundo. I was like, what? You should have stayed. Y'all should have stayed y'all BA in El Segundo. Who the hell is these losers? And dude named Q-Tip. Oh, hell no. Whack as it. Get the hell out of here. Garbage. Tribe Called Quest was garbage. You know what I'm saying? They bought in the whole, you know what they bought in. They bought in the flavor with the flavor unit. Y'all know what it is. They used the gangster rap and the drill rap as a cover that's the worst shit. And try to blame that for the violence in the community that was already in the community. Shoot, the most people in Chicago got shot back in like 1970, 72 or something like that. Wasn't even no drill music when Chicago had the most shootings, unalive. Not even no drill music. Yeah. This the ones that's supposed to pass the ball down to the shorties that's rapping now. That's what I'm trying to say. Show me where who passed anything down to the rappers today that you complaining about. Look at everybody before them, all the way back to that weirdo Marvin Gaye and all of them and Prince and all that. Look how many black men like Prince, but complain about the rap. And Prince was far more detrimental to the community than gangster rap or drill. By far. Y'all be listening to losers talking about drill rap and the shootings in Chicago. It sound like fools. Ain't nobody shooting because of no damn drill rap. Stop listening to people that ain't outside trying to tell y'all something. Them is weirdos. They just trying to put anything together. Soon as they tell you the record labels is behind drill, right then, you know that's a bozo. And ain't nobody even on no record label. Record labels, bro, you just go get on a mic at your crib or something, rap, master it on the internet, and go post it yourself. Record label, you don't need no record label to post no YouTube video. Record label, they talking about the record label paying them to talk like that. What record label? Soon as y'all hear somebody playing the record label, that's a bozo. That's somebody that's not in the music business. These shorties making all these drill records ain't on no label. Okay? You got to work hard to get a deal like Dirk and NBA Youngboy. These shorties ain't on no damn record label. Record label. Record label. Come on, man. They ain't on no record labels. You don't need no record label. You just make your song and put it on YouTube. Crazy. These shorties ain't even getting a song mixed or nothing. They buying a straight MP3 and getting it mastered a little bit and rapping on that shit and putting it out. They ain't got no damn record labels. What? That's about the record label. Yeah, nobody would have controlled you. Don't nobody control them now, though, Ice Rock. Record labels. When Ice Rock, when you hear people say the record label is behind drill, you know they don't know what the hell they talking about. There's no record label put out Soulja Boy or Chief Keef. They posted that stuff on YouTube by themselves. And that's when the record labels went and got on YouTube. The shorties was on YouTube before the record labels. The shorty was on YouTube, and then YouTube became into music. Wasn't no record label. Record label? What? Crazy. The record label ain't gonna sign you based on a whole bunch of drill songs. You're gonna have to make some songs. If you want to get that money bag, your money, that dirt money, you're gonna have to make some songs. You ain't gonna just be able to say shoot them, I shot them, shoot them, I shot them. We be shooting and shooting and shooting everybody. No. Come on, man. You can't just get no record label making drill songs, man. Pop Smoke didn't get no deal because of drill. He got deals because he could rap and he made it sound good. He was fired. That's why you can't just, bruh. These people crazy. No, Professor Griff is a lunatic. Professor Griff be making shit up. I don't listen to Professor Griff. Professor Griff is a conspiracy nut. He gonna say stuff because he think you gonna believe it. On their line making shit up. Griff full of shit. How dog Griff? Man, now dog walk Griffin in a debate about the music and I'll embarrass him. That story they told y'all that they had a meeting and shit, and they decided that's a bullshit story. Y'all really believe that? Y'all really believe they had y'all really believe they had a secret meeting and then they decided to put Snoop over the other people that was whack? Why would they have to put Snoop over KRS One who became garbage? Rakim, Egby and Rakim broke up, wasn't rapping. Cool G Rap was on the run from the mob. KRS One was tired and only can make 2 hit records on the whole goddamn CD. Y'all really believe that the record labels had to do that when Snoop was way better than everybody on the East Coast? Y'all really believe that? Y'all believe the record labels started Dr. Dre and Snoop was fired. That's why they blew up. Not because nobody had no conspiracy saying we're gonna put them over. No, they was better. The music was going in another direction. New York had fell off and still ain't on. Ain't no conspiracy the reason New York fell off. New York fell off because they didn't know how to make good rounded music and they tried to deal with some music that got some shine because it was new. But after it's been new for a while, that's not gonna work. That's a fact. Our dog grip. And he know for a fact that when hip hop first started going, they was putting anybody on goddamn MTV and BET. Y'all know it and I know it. Because they put them bum chicks, X-Clan chicks, and they was horrible. But they didn't have enough artists. So anybody could make a song and they would put you on Rap City. Y'all know it and I know it. And then as more people got into it and they seen rappers were going somewhere, they started getting better rappers. So all them bum people couldn't get on there no more. Gangstar never would have got on there with all that jazz and razzmatazz. That wouldn't have went nowhere. Only reason he got that song on there because there wasn't nobody else making no damn music. And as they seen the genre popping and they start getting more better music, boom, all the losers had to get out of there and they start coming with that heat with some way better raps. And a record label decided to put, ain't no record label decided to put uh gangster rap. Yeah, get the hell out of here. Snoop didn't even blow up really with gangster rap. Snoop blew up with the big record where they was all in their party. It's a doggy dog world. Dun, dun. Snoop blew up off a party song with Dre and them, and they in a big warehouse. It was a dance theme to that. Everybody was liking that because they was all in there dancing in a big warehouse. Tell me I'm lying. That was the catch. All them people in there dancing. It was like a dance thing. That's how Snoop blew up. Tell me I'm lying. Snoop blew up with them in a big warehouse and everybody was dancing. Wasn't nobody fighting, shooting, or none of that. It really wasn't gangster. Snoop was on a bike with his hair with curls on the front of a bike on them videos. Snoop blew up because it was young kids and it showed the West Coast with him on the handlebars of a bike and shit like that. St. Ives and shit. It did not blow up from no gangster. It didn't blow up from being gangster. That's a lie. The gangster rapper was Spice One, and he didn't blow up like that. Gin and Juice, which ain't no gangster song. G-Funk, wasn't gangster. Snoop was not gangster when he came out. He was a Crip, but he was on some kid shit. A Crip on a bike, standing in the neighborhood. That's it. The one song, 187, that's because it was for a movie. They had to make the song go along with the movie. That had nothing to do with them as no recording artist. Snoop's album was fun loving. It wasn't no gangster shit. He just took the word gangster and made it like playful. And the lyrics wasn't even gangster. It was some hood shit. How they gonna say that was gangster when, goddamn it, Cool G Rap was gangster? Which one was the most gangster? Snoop Dogg or Cool G Rap? Checkmate. Talking about they wanted to bring in gangster rap. See how they be lying? Man, they be lying. They lying. Lying. Because my favorite gangster video was not Snoop Dogg, and it was not from the West Coast. My favorite gangster video was Rakim, Follow the Leader. This is gangster. But you see how they don't ever blame him for gangster? This was gangster. They was walking down the street with the old school car. They all had Tommy guns, long trench coats on, straight up. This was the first gangster video. Facts. The West Coast ain't got no gangster video match this gangster video. This was the first gangster video. Real gangster. Snoop and them was just some LA hood shit. That wasn't a gangster. This was gangster. Look, he got a Tommy gun. This was my favorite video because it was gangster. I never looked at Snoop as gangster. Tupac wasn't gangster. He was pushing thug life and chasing girls. Tupac was all about girls. The only real gangsters that came out was Rakim and Cool G Rap. Big Daddy Kane was a player. I don't remember no gangster shit out of L.A. Not that I remember. I ain't look at L.A. as no gangsters. Ice-T was a player. But he had the song Original Gangster. But he was just rapping about it. But Ice-T came out more like a pimp. Colors, it was like gang stuff really wasn't considered gangster to street dudes. So like gang rap, I guess you could say it, but it really didn't. For people that was really into gangster stuff, we didn't look at gang like gangsters. We didn't really look at the Crips and Bloods like gangsters. We just looked at them as gangs hoodlums, like punks, like hoodlums or something. And really look at that as like gangster. And like I said, Ice-T, he was moving more like a pimp. The naked chick with the gun. He always got the broad. So it more pimpish. Ice-T looked like what you call a hustler. He might rob a bank. He might pimp a chick. He came off more like that. Hustle, hustler. That's how Ice-T came out. That was his song, Hustler. He came more off like a hustler. You know, a hustler might do some gangster stuff, but a gangster ain't really just got no naked chick on no album like that. That ain't really gangster. That's pimpish. I didn't really look at him as no gangster. But he did have to say original gangster Ice-T, but I ain't really consider it that gangster rap. Guess. I guess. I just never looked at LA as gangster, you know? It didn't look like it didn't come off like gangster to me. They trying to rewrite history and say Snoop didn't come off like gangster. I looked at Snoop and them like young people partying. They didn't even look like they was old enough to be what you would call gangsters. And I ain't know no gangster riding on the front of no hand, you know, Snoop on the front of some handlebars and shit, on a bike. That ain't gangster like gangsters on a bike. I guess. They started calling this shit gangster rap. They made those movies, Miniature Society, Boys in the Hood. I see what you're saying. You know, just to me and my generation, I just never considered none of that gangster. I considered it hood shit. Because to me, gangster is like Casino, Bronx Tale, shit like that. Scarface. Some, you know, they tried to start calling that gangster. I don't know. That was a mischaracterization, calling that shit gangster rap. I ain't look at Ice-T as no gangster. A gangbanger wasn't never considered no gangster. I don't know. It's like they was playing with people's minds. To me, they was trying to manipulate something. They came up with this whole thing. Oh, the banks, the music industry wanted to push gangster out, but this shit wasn't even really gangster. Not to me. But they start throwing all that together, gangster, hustler, like Biggie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's the 10 crack commandments. That's not gangster, that's hustler. So they just start calling anything anything. Not too much gangster music made it, if you ask me. Hustler music made it. Music for the women and shit like that. Little gangbanging music, which they didn't really push that too much. It just didn't. They just put a bullshit name on it because it wasn't nothing gangster about it. Rapping Forte, he was like a pimp. Spice One was like a gang member. That a gang member is not really considered gangster, I guess. But not when you come up watching James Cagney and Humphrey Bogart and shit like that. That's gangster. Some dudes in some khakis, some dickies. Ah, E40, that was all drug dealing rap. E40 was drug dealing rap up there in Vallejo. They just misnamed, they mischaracterized that. Started calling gang music gangster. UGK, hell, the nigga name was Pimp C. That was pimp music. His name ain't Gangster C. His name Pimp. You know, pimps ain't no gangsters. Here in Chicago, you had what's the name of them? They had their record called Po Pimpin'. Snoop was trying to act like a pimp. 50, I'm a PIMP. Him and Snoop was playing pimp. They was pushing the pimp thing more than the gangster stuff. They was pushing pimping more than anything. Rapping Forte, all that was pimping. Pimping and drug sellers. Gangster, Rakim, Coogee Rap. But Coogee Rap had to run from some real gangsters. His career stopped because some mafia was looking for him, or some Italian gangsters or whatever kind of gangster was looking for him. That's why his rap career stopped. He had to go on the run. But when you start talking about gangster rap, that was a fake name. Because I was in the streets and I wasn't no gangster. I was a hustler. You might do some gangster stuff, but that don't make you no gangster. So I don't know. When they put that gangster rap on it, it didn't really fit the music, not really. They got away with it. But when you think back now, that wasn't no damn gangster rap. Because we don't look at gangbangers as no damn gangsters. And gangsters don't look at gangbangers as no damn gangsters. I guess. Do or Die, poor pimping. That was pimp music. Twister was touching on some pimp stuff. Most of them was touching on pimping and drug dealers and hustling. But they tried to make up a story that the record labels he said Nas was a real gangster. Nas came into the game as a hoodlum kind of razor blade in his mouth like that. So we talk about in terms of music. We ain't talk about them off what they do in private. I'm just saying with the music, they mischaracterized that. That was all a lie. That the record labels wanted to come in and push gangster music and all that. No. New York fell off. LA was making better music. Dr. Dre was making better music. New York fell off. New York tried to come back, but then they did a international thing. And that's when Mike Jones, which I just listened to the other day, that song was fire. I listened to the Mike Jones songs where he say his phone number. Hey, man, that beat in that song underrated. If you think I'm lying, go listen to it not right now. So remember when it got to the era where they was pushing Texas, they was pushing Mike Jones, Slim Thug, and Paul Wall now. They was pushing Florida, where they was pushing What's the little dude from Opalaka? They was pushing him and Rick Ross and them. They was pushing Atlanta. They was doing regional. They was doing all the regions at first. And then it fell off and Atlanta stayed. Everybody else disappeared. They was pushing Texas. Atlanta stayed and everybody else fell. And then it was Atlanta all after that. Because there for a little point, they was pushing regions. They was pushing Florida, Texas, Atlanta, heavy. Those three. No, not Plies, the little short dude. Ace Hood. Ace Hood. Ace Hood. They wasn't pushing Chicago in that group because Chicago didn't have that kind of vibe. In this particular era I'm talking about, when they came out with Texas with them big old rims, the big ass spikes coming out, them spokes coming out. It was one point where they was pushing them three: Florida, Texas, and Atlanta. LA didn't get pushed because they never united the Bay Area with LA. They lost money. Chicago didn't get pushed because we didn't really have a lot of people really doing nothing. We had Do or Die, we had Twist and them, but they wasn't really working together like that. You know, what's the name of them was down in Texas writing for Jay Prince and them. Boo and Gotti was down there writing for Baby and them. So we wasn't in the mix like that. But Texas was in the mix heavy. Yeah, Mike Jones had his phone number there. Texas was in the move heavy. Florida with Ace Hood and all of them. This is when DJ Khaled started showing his face. You had Rick Ross, you had Ace Hood, you had the other one somebody just named. Plies. They was making some noise. But then they disappeared because they didn't stick together. And the only ones that stuck together was Atlanta. And then Atlanta took over from there on out. They took over. Anyway, that's enough of that. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Make some comments. Let me know what you think. Victory.